Another thing that we often do here on the final day of Dawn Guard is maybe talk about some of the things that we've enjoyed media-wise over the last year. And hey, we could just do that. Anybody got anything that they've been watching or listening to or playing or reading that's stood out this year? Anybody welcome to shout some stuff out?
I mean, I fell into the clown hole that is Balatro.
Balatro, yeah.
Yeah, the multiple people I know specifically are avoiding playing that game because they know it will be a problem for them, including my partner. People love clowns. People love number go up. That's a game about clowns and number go up.
I finally got to experience playing a Final Fantasy XIV expansion at the same time as everybody else.
So nice.
So that was a very neat experience for me, getting to be on the same page as everybody else in the FC, go under Squalified, and yeah, that was pretty neat. It was really cool to get over the sudden anguish that was the end of Endwalker, and they go, hey, let's go to a place where the city's main music is ska music. So
and now for something completely different, right?
Now it's something completely different. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. It's not new media, but I just read it for the first time. There's a book called The Drunken Botanist that I actually read on my plane ride here. It's really interesting. It's broken down into the various plants that make the various alcohols that we drink, and I am a professional bartender, so that was especially interesting to learn more about what grains do what and why, and a bunch of infused alcohols that I had never heard of before, because they talked about sorghum beer that's really popular in Nigeria, which is something that I had never had and never even thought to seek out. So highly recommend. It's very interesting. There are some great drink recipes in there too.
Nice. I read a book this year called, I had to look it up because I already forgot and it's early. It's called Grief is for People by Sloane Crosley. And it's a really good read. It's very short. It's funny. It's sad. And I don't know. I would definitely recommend it for everybody. It's about her losing a really close friend and the world not really set up for that. Like, we're bad at grief even when it comes to people that we know, and we're when you think of grief and you think of people grieving, you think about losing parents or children or close relatives and stuff like that. But it's not really, the world's not really set up for you to lose a best friend when it comes to grief. And it's a book all about that. And it's very funny. It's a very good read. It's also very short. I literally read it in a day. I bought the book at like 9 a.m. and it was done by 9 p.m. That was because it was very good and also nice and short, which I like. Not a big reader, but this one just got me in a way that no book has in a very long time. So very much recommend.
I don't know that I have a lot of media that's accessible, but I have, over the last year and a half, been doing a very deep dive into Carl Jung and the archetypes, and have been taking courses online in the big life of Kate. I continue to work towards my art therapy degree. I'm pretty close, and this is some of the last little pieces I have to put into place to have it. And so as a result of that, that's this hero's journey that we all think of, to put it in simple terms. And so it's forced me to have to watch movies like Star Wars again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And some of that stuff, but it's really been a deep dive into understanding how we're all on a journey, and we're all, parts of us are on a journey, and together, you know, we can amass great things as we share. And so I got more out of it than I anticipated. And the side part was part of what they taught was how to read tarot cards, just because the tarot cards are the archetypes too. And so apparently I can read your tarot now, but I wouldn't necessarily call me good at it yet. But I do understand it now, which I never did, and that was fun too, to try to understand that information. So I feel really expanded by it. It's my best way to speak to it. So thank you.
Nice. What else you got? Ashton, got anything?
Sure. I was just scrubbing through my watch history here for a little bit. Something I showed to Carrie recently was James Acaster. He's a comedian. He has a series. He has a series of 4 comedy specials that is actually like one comedy special combined called Repertoire. And it's very good. It's from like 2017, 2018, around when Brexit happened. But just the way that everything like ties together at the end and is all related to each other. Just I haven't seen another comedian do that kind of storytelling in that way before. A lot of fun. I don't know if anybody's mentioned Dungeon Meshi already, but that was very popular this year.
For stealing my one
That
thing.
was that
Yes.
year.
The one thing, Ashton.
I'm
thank you.
sorry.
That was this year, wasn't it?
It was this year. And I had one other thing. Over the Garden Wall I rewatched this year. That's very good. I'm sure everybody already knows about that. That was great. I know something. I was trying to think of something that is not traditional media. I found out about an artist recently that does mixed media canvas work. Reminded me of artists that I've been looking at recently. Hyunju Lee. She's from. I think she's in Montreal right now. Has been for a few years, but she has amazing like abstract canvas work. It's very cool. She has a lot of paintings up in Toronto museum. Like there's a few Toronto museums, and she's like almost impossible to find any contact information for her online. I wouldn't say reclusive, but very uncontactable. But every now and again, she'll come out with like this giant body of work, which is very cool. So yeah, look her up. Hyunju Lee. From South Korea originally.
I will.
Hey Carrie, you watch any good anime?
Check my one thing.
You can talk more in depth about it if you give people an idea.
I mean, Dungeon Meshi. It's like a real fun D&D game about food and dungeons. And it's not a D&D game, it's an anime, but it feels kind of like a really good TTRPG. But now you've got me looking at like artists and other stuff that I randomly saved throughout the year. There was a really clickbaity headlined study that came out a few months ago about how Dorito dye turns mouse tummies transparent.
Right.
I saw that headline.
That was fun.
I didn't
Which
read it.
is just like the best possible thing to read one morning, and I spent a whole day being very distracted, and then Daniel came to say goodnight, and instead of saying goodnight, I said, "Daniel, Doritos turn mouse tummies clear," and he went, "Yeah, I have those days too." But yeah, it's a dye that changes the refraction of light. So they like rub it on the mouse tummy, and in about 10 minutes it turns clear, and then about 20 or 30 minutes later it fades away again. And it's just how light works when you're small enough that light can penetrate your entire body like that.
Wow.
Humans have too thick of skin and also too thick of torsos for the light to go in good.
Yeah, we also have a lot more melanin, I think, in the actual skin itself.
That could be.
which also absorbs and refracts light.
Yeah, but that's kind of what they're looking at doing, is finding ways to like use dyes to change the refraction through the skin, so that it was neat.
I think it was the tartrazine in it that was doing it. I'm trying to find a
Yeah,
yellow
it's a-
5.
It's a specific yellow dye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the actual like food dye.
Yeah, it's the actual food dye. They're not just rubbing chip dust.
Yeah.
I
I was
Yeah.
thinking that out. I was like, the poor little mousies. I mean, that might be hurt. The
That
rough
rat-
chip.
That would feel so great. Like, I'm gonna get so many chips after this.
That might be how they
Just-
discovered it. Like some student with Dorito dust on their fingers.
Oh, that's likely.
Oh, weird.
That is absolutely why I clicked on the title, because I needed to know how it was
Yeah.
discovered.
Now, did you
Yeah.
try it? Because see, I gotta say that the scientist, not barring me, would have got the yellow food dye.
You
I don't have
probably
any
need
mice.
Tried.
Finding
concentrated
mice is the more
version
difficult
of the
option.
dye. If you go crush up some Doritos chips and you rub it on a mouse tummy, it's probably
Just
not a
gonna turn
pure
it
enough
orange.
dye.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna
But
dye
you
it
know
on
what?
dust.
You know what we have in house that probably does?
What?
I bet you that big thing of tang.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be orange
possible.
dye?
No, but it's orange. It's red and yellow.
Tang turns mouse invisible.
It all comes back to Tang.
Yeah.
Just
I guess the headline worked for you,
Yeah.
Carrie.
Oh, it worked real good.
Tang. To throw it back to Tang, I don't know if you guys are up to watch Wet Ones, but the Wet Ones with the Tang last night was pretty darn
Very
funny.
thick-
Go
was
backwards.
The thickest
Incredibly thick.
tang.
Yeah.
I never get to.
The most thick tang.
I'm gonna say experience wet ones, cause not that I want to, cause I've seen like 1 or 2 gifs and that has been sufficient enough for me.
I saw the tang enter stage.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw the
Oh.
jiggle on that tang. It was
Yeah.
Ooh, it was jiggly.
And Logan was so like thrilled at what he built.
Of course you.
Back table, you got some stuff?
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I can go first. Oop, sorry. I've not consumed like a lot of new things this year. I started trying to watch One Piece because one of my friends is
Me too.
one of my friends is lovingly, amazingly, beautifully obsessed with One Piece. It is her personality anime, and I love her for it. And I enjoy being able to interact with her. And so I literally started watching One Piece just so that I could talk to her about One Piece more, because she talks about it a lot, and I want to be able to like actually know what she's talking about. But for new things, I will forever and ever continue to scream about how much I love the video game Fields of Mystria. It is only in open access, and it's like it gets an update on the 18th, and I'm so excited. It's really cool. It's basically like, what if Stardew Valley had magic and spirit dragons, and also all the characters are hot and drawn like Sailor Moon people. And I've been really loving that. And then this is like not really an unknown thing. I mean, it's Marvel, but the other part of me that's been obsessively obsessed with something is the Agatha show.
Yeah.
I want that show to be my entire personality. I was literally giddy, like doing like the dances every episode, and then also crying. I love that thing so much. You don't even have to know or care about Marvel to enjoy that show. It is just cool, queer, witches, and it's wonderful, and I love it.
Nice. Kelly.
So, most of my media involves small humans. That is my life. Some new cool stuff. Princess Power on Netflix is a kids cartoon that's surprisingly very surprisingly diverse and queer, without being like, just at first I thought it was going to be something kind of, the kids were like, ooh, I'm excited. I'm like, let me preview it. Ended up being really awesome. I also love Mama Cusses,
She's got.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
She's so good.
Sorry, go ahead.
She released a book this year, which I really love. I super love the Ratatatata Baby Metal Electric Callboy song that plays in my house at least once a week, if not once a day. Inside Out 2 was an amazing movie. I loved Anxiety because that was 100% what anxiety, as someone with anxiety, that was a mood. Sorry, I'm going through all my little tabs to make sure I don't forget stuff. And then I'm really excited for a new game that I saw that's supposed to be coming out. And I cannot pronounce it, but it is supposed to be for the Mi'kmaq indigenous culture of Cape Breton. Their community, they're designing their own video game. It's actually on Steam. I cannot pronounce this, and yeah. But you can find them on Steam, and it's Kuntawiktuk.
Yes. Better than I could have done.
And it's going to be a fantasy adventure game that's supposed to be coming out hopefully sometime this year, if not next year.
There.
I just put it in chat.
Nice.
And it's by Greenbot Studios. So I'm really excited to see what comes from that. So
Nice, thank you.
yeah.